Well, camera kind of got jostled there, so we're now doing a part 2.
Or call 800-371-5465.
All right, almost got locked out of the elevator. So you have signals on both sides of the station platform.
Northbound Amtrak 587, I'm shortly on track 1. This train is northbound to LA Union Station. Amtrak tickets required to board. Please no Metrolink tickets. Amtrak tickets only, please, to board this train. Northbound Amtrak 587 to LA. Arriving shortly, track 1. This will be your first call for southbound Amtrak 588 down to San Diego. Up and over the bridge, track number 3, southbound Amtrak 588.
So we're gonna have 2 Amtrak trains coming in pretty much about the same time. A northbound from San Diego going into downtown LA, and a southbound going to San Diego from downtown LA. One excellent things about Fullerton at night coming down watching trains is you do have the signals on each side of the platforms, and they serve as great track indicators that you know that there's something coming. Once you start learning how they work and what they indicate and the pattern here at Fullerton, you can pretty much start figuring out what's coming, whether it's a passenger train, inbound or outbound, or a freight train, just by looking at your lights there. So you got a flashing yellow, which is a slow order because there's a train occupying the block in front of the train that's going to come right now to the depot. And the solid green means that there is a train occupying this block, and it's a train that's going to stop right here and pick up passengers headed down to San Diego. They're off in the distance. They're off in the distance. You can see the southbound San Diego Amtrak train coming into the station. So these two trains will meet kind of right there where that signal bridge is, northbound and the southbound. Another train coming. He turned his headlight down so he won't blind the Amtrak crews, and that's common practice pretty much on all railroads on the planet. Looks like we got a couple more trains before the evening is up or before they stop running. So I don't know if you guys have picked it up or not. There's always an electric guitar, a Fender electric guitar painted, or a little mural or some sort of art sculpture everywhere we go. The reason is because Fullerton was originally where Fender guitars were made. The original ones coming up to about the year 2000 when they moved to the new facility down in Corona. But Fullerton, California is actually the home and the birthplace of Fender guitars.
On Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th.
And this is our little Fullerton Railroad Museum. At least this is what it looks like at night. We shot this thing the other day in the daytime. Everything takes on a different mystique at night, especially when you're talking passenger trains and railroading. I could picture these beautiful, beautiful Union Pacific cars coupled up behind a BBA set of Union Pacific E9s. Beautiful. Always been one of my favorite cars. Next to the SP and of course Santa Fe. Beautiful Union Pacific cars with their Union Pacific Harbor Mist gray, their silver trucks, and the Union Pacific Armor yellow. Anyways, since I'm talking about trains and Union Pacific and passenger cars, I want to send a big shout out to Roger Lewis, who was a good friend of Ed Campbell's, and I enjoy talking to Roger Lewis of Key Model Works, producer of fine old scale Union Pacific mini railroads, brass old scale models. Anyways, as I take this shot right here, you guys remember on the Santa Fe, the ballast? They used to have pink ballast on their main lines, at least out here, out west, out along the west coast. I see they've slowly replaced pretty much almost all of it with regular gray ballast. They had the pink ballast because they actually had a pink rock quarry on their property out here in Barstow. And you drive by the 40 freeway and you'd see the little quarry there and them digging out pink rock and crushing it. I guess that got too expensive to do it in-house, so it's probably cheaper to get it from a third party, commercial third party. Tell you what, pretty much that's gonna be about it. The cast of characters I have met throughout the years here at this depot, men and women. Just like I could tell you stories and stories about it, but I've seen accidents. I've seen cars get hit. One time a car got hit at the crossing there in Highland, where the signal bridge is, and it got dragged all the way right here, and it stopped. At night, it was about 1 in the morning. I didn't have my camera, so I jumped down on the tracks. It was literally right here where the train finally came to a stop. The car was wrapped around the front of the train like the letter C, like this. And the coupler just went right through the window where the driver would have been. And as I'm going inside, the locomotive's ditch lights were actually shining into the car, and I'm looking for passengers or the drivers of the vehicle. Nobody. Just then the door popped open on the front of the locomotive and the engineer comes out. It was when they switched to 2 crewmen, engineer and a conductor or conductor brakeman. And I guess it was the conductor brakeman came out and he looked at me and I looked at him. This is nighttime, and he came out with a little fire extinguisher. And up from the platform up there, from the little door, he looked at me and he said, "Is anybody alive?" I go, "There's nobody in there." He goes, "Whew." He goes, "We thought we saw people jump out of the car at the last second." And that was a whole big thingamaroll. I stuck around for the whole thing way back when. And I got tons and tons of stories like that to tell you, which I will not bore you here on the Florentino Rebuilding Company YouTube channel, your outpost on the West Coast here in sunny Southern California. I believe there's an Amtrak train coming in. Why don't we wait for that train before we sign off? And then I want to head on over to the Union Pacific, the former Union Pacific station or depot, which is over there, which is now Spaghetti Factory. Looks really, really beautiful at night. And we'll sign off when we film this last Amtrak train. We'll cross the parking lot and film the Union Pacific depot, and then we'll call it a night. Stick around. All right, folks, so what you're looking at there is the former Union Pacific passenger depot that used to be down here in downtown Fullerton. Moved across the tracks and has now become the old spaghetti factory. But look at that, beautiful at night. We filmed this in the daytime and she was just as stunning. But something about the night. Something about the night. So as we sign off tonight, so as we started off the night, it was exciting. We were in downtown Fullerton, all the bars and the people and the coming and going. It was just there was an electricity in the air, the lights, very welcoming. Just, and as we sat here at the station and watched trains, and we weren't here that long. Now that I'm heading back home, we're gonna head on over here to my truck and just get out of here. But just sitting there watching those trains, the place I've been hanging out pretty much, not every night of my life, but many, many nights where I would go to the bars and clubs that we just left. I used to go during the 90s. I caught the grunge scene. I used to catch bands down here. I saw Oasis. I saw Sublime. I saw UB40 live. They were just kind of starting out and they were like catching on. And yeah, I was part of that scene. I had a great time, and I'd come down here afterwards, bring a honey, or just come out here and smoke and drink with some buds till 2 or 3 in the morning. It was just an experience. But sitting out here, since we left the downtown area, now we're here. It really, really mellowed me out. It is as if I sat there and drank a couple of fine cognacs or a real good wine or cigar or something like that. Just really mellowed me out and kind of puts me, balances my inner soul, because I've got a lot of stuff going on at home, a lot of stuff, and this kind of sets me back where I gotta be so I can take care of what I gotta take care of. And thank you for joining me right here on the Fullerton Rebuilding Company YouTube channel, your outpost on the West Coast out here in sunny Southern California. I hope you enjoyed this little 2-part series of the Fullerton Depot. The magic of the Fullerton Depot, both in the daytime and at night. If you ever decide to come out here and check it out, you will not be disappointed. You all take care. Have a great rest. Have a great week coming up. Tomorrow's Monday. But most importantly, have a blessed week. You all take care. Bye.